and gentlemen, the world has been waiting for what the world needs now. The one, the only, amazing, original Johnny Blaze. Often imitated, but never duplicated. There's Johnny.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to the amazing original Johnny Blaze Show. It's always great to be here as I blaze right in with my karate kick. Let's have a blazing hot fun time. Well, folks, Halloween is over and Thanksgiving is upon us, and that means I'll have to see my family again. Every year while we're eating turkey, I ask my young cousin the same question. What are you going to do after you finish school? He always gives me the same answer: pool boy or pizza delivery man. This year, I'm going to have to tell this old man to find a better hiding place for his porn videos. I had to break up with my girlfriend last month. Every time we make love, she was so loud, dogs would start barking and the neighbors would call the police, accusing me of domestic abuse. A man walked into a pet store looking to buy a dog, but he didn't have much money. After walking past all the expensive dogs, he found an old mutt in a small cage with a sign that read, "Name your price." The old dog began to speak. I once belonged to President Bush. We traveled the world at Air Force One, and I met all the great leaders of the world. The man picked up the cage and brought it to the pet store owner. You realize that this is a talking dog. How much do you want for him? $10, the owner said. Why only $10? The man asked. Well, because he's a compulsive liar, the owner replied. Procrastination is good. You always have something to do tomorrow, and you don't have to do anything today. We have a blazing hot fun show with a special guest. He is a multi-talented singer, songwriter, and an all-around entertainer. Please give a big warm welcome and say hello to the one and only Scott Howard. All right, I want to welcome you all. I want to welcome you, Scott, to the amazing original Johnny Blaze Show, and it's great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're certainly welcome. How are you doing?
You're low, just so you know. So if I miss a couple of things, I'm not hard of hearing, but we'll play it by ear. It's all good.
I hope you'll be able to hear it. I can hear you. I hope you'll be able to hear me, Scott.
Good. It's a little fuzzy, but hopefully I'll be able to the music will sound halfway decent.
We're going to do our best, Scott. That's for sure.
Terrific.
Okay. Scott, Howard, give me a rundown. Tell me the Scott Howard story. How did you get started in entertainment, and where are you from?
I'm from Venus. I kid. Where am I from? I grew up in New York, and as a child, I guess I was always into music, and I think at age 8 I was in a band. So I started young, and as life progressed, I was a businessman like everybody else. We had a real job, and I took companies public, and one day Source or somebody said, that's enough playing and it's time to get to work. So I was placed on a path of, I think it was 2017. I went through an awakening, and it was kind of like a DMT trip without the drugs. And all of a sudden, everything went off the rails. And it was like the aliens came down and they never left. Very, very strange situation. And so a year after that, 2018, to the day, my son passed from an accidental drug overdose. And it caused me, or it placed me on this path of bringing a new genre of music to the world, to awaken those that listen and to raise the vibration for those who learn. All my music is played in 432 hertz, which is the way it used to be. That's nature's frequency. And during World War II, the Germans decided to, actually, I'm looking this way. I'm looking this way. I got to go this way. I'm sorry. During World War II, the Germans realized that everything was frequency, and they lowered the frequency to a 440, which would allow them, make it easier for mind control. And so they knew everything. They realized it all. They changed the tuning of the instruments. They changed the broadcasting, movies, TV to 440, and so I'm bringing it to 432, which is easier. It's the right vibration for mankind. If you play something in 432 and you look at it in water, it's very, very calm. It's got a very organized shape. If you play 440, it's broken. It's a very hard shape. It's like when you talk to a plant and you speak harshly to the plant. That's like 440. When you speak nice to the plant, you give love, that's 432. So all my music is in 432, and it's based on my, the lyrics are there to awaken as many as possible, to let people know, because my music is prophetic. It's written at an earlier time, meant for a later time when a certain milestone in mankind will occur. So I'm actually doing one song tonight called Harvest Blessings, which is when the storm is over. I didn't even know they were going to call it the storm, but this is what I wrote, I think about 6 years ago.
So it sounds like
the other song I'm doing is actually 10 years old, but it's new now. It's called Last Lifetime.
Okay.
And my next album is called Angel Numbers. And I actually ended up meeting Archangel Michael, believe it or not. That was one of the DMT things that happened to me. And I actually told him to come back another time. I was angry. I don't know why, but I just said, can you come back another time? I'd gone through a weekend of hell. And then he flew down and stood in front of me. And again, from that date, 12 months to that date, my son passed away. So I guess he knew, or that was kind of like the bellwether of what was going to occur 12 months from that point. So
I'm sorry about your son's passing. I offer my condolences. It must have been very difficult for you.
It was very, very hard. But he's still here, so it's not a problem. Literally still here. I mean, he lives at my apartment, believe it or not, in South Florida. I had a housekeeper. She never met me, and she was from Haiti, I believe. And she went to clean the apartment, and all of a sudden he walked out of the shower. And she says, okay. And he said, you can see me? And she said, yes. And he got all excited. So the things that have happened to me since this awakening, it's amazing. I have an upcoming ebook. It's about 300 plus pages of my life, my awakening, and it includes photos, which will probably blow people's minds. They'll never look at the sky the same again. Let's put it that way, or our reality.
So it sounds like to me, you love your son, and his spirit lives through you.
No, I love my son. He is here.
He's still here. Okay.
Literally, like I said, a maid came to the house. She was cleaning. Didn't know who I was because I was away, and he came walking out of the shower.
Wow,
that was about a month or two ago. He's been gone since 2018. So they are in a higher frequency. It's everything's frequency again. When we pass, we lose this meat suit or whatever, and we end up, in a higher frequency. When we raise our frequency, we see more things that are behind the veil. The veil is coming down. People are seeing things every day. They have no idea what the heck they're seeing. They're afraid. They're in their apartments or their homes, and they see things in the corners of their room or wherever. It's just happening more and more every day. and it's the veil. The veil is coming down, and we are going up in frequency. The Schumann resonance, which is what we use to monitor the Earth's frequency, is off the charts. It used to be at like 8.7 or something like that, and it's like at 500. So the frequency on the earthly plane or realm, whatever you want to call it, is very high, and it's causing everyone else's frequency to go up as well, because we have to go up in frequency because Mother Earth is going up in frequency to 5D. So if we don't go with her, we're going to have a problem. You know, the people that decide they want to stay in 3D, they're going to be going through earthquakes and, you know, earth-ending events. Mother Earth has stayed behind for us much too long. And she's got to increase her frequency and go up.
I see. You mentioned you like to keep it in a lower frequency when your music.
I raised the frequency. It's 432 is the frequency. It's nature's frequency. It's what our Earth is. That's the sound of the Earth, if you will. You're correct. 440 is higher. It's sharp. So it's very hard on our bodies because our body's mostly water. So it affects us in many ways, including cancer and illnesses and, arthritis, everything. So if you can raise your frequency to a 5D or 4D, which is not easy. In other words, the Mayans did it. That's why there's not many around. The Tartarians did it. There was a Tartarian a group of people. They were huge. They were all over the world, the Tartarians. And they disappeared. And it's because they realized how to raise their frequency in a holographic matrix, which is what we are. We're in a holographic matrix, which is pretty much what's behind me right now. That's my poster for my World Ascension Tour. I realized in 2019, I believe it was, that we were not going to be able to tour. So I did a live concert film in 432, and I did the soundtrack in vinyl, which is really cool. And I did that in 432 as well. So it's one of the first albums, vinyl albums in 432. And that's called the World Ascension Tour, live at Village Studios in 432. That was in Santa Monica.
That was in Santa Monica, the World Ascension Tour. And
we shot it at the Village Studios, and I had I think it was the Red Hot Chili Peppers were literally downstairs in the room I was supposed to be in, and they were enjoying it too.
That's great. You probably had a big audience too. You probably had a gigantic audience there.
It was a shoot. It was a live concert, and there were people there, but it was during the time of the COVID,
right,
scare, and so people were afraid to go out, especially in California. California was like one of the stupidest states. I hate to say talk badly about a state, but come on, guys, the things that I went through in California, I had to get out of there.
What happened in California that caused you to get out of there?
It's just at the time. Well, I lived in certain parts of California, which were very much Hollywood, and the people were the energies were very low there. Let's put it that way. I renovated a house, and I had a camera, to watch the home, and the spirits that would come out at night showed up on the cameras, and the incarnate spirits that were there were it was crazy. The things that went on, or that went on and probably still go on in Beverly Hills area. More went on underneath Beverly Hills than went on above Beverly Hills. And it was very scary. So I had to get out, and I moved to Santa Monica, which is where we did the shoot. And then we drove from there to Chicago, and I rented an RV, which was really cool. You couldn't really fly. No one wanted to fly at that time. So we rented an RV, and we drove through Utah, which is the most unbelievable state I've ever been in. It's just fantastic. And I think it was about 11:30 at night. I went outside. Something told me to go outside. And I looked up in the sky at 10 o'clock, and there was the blue kachina.
What do you mean? What's the blue kachina? What is that?
The blue kachina is what the Hopis spoke about. They spoke about the red kachina and the blue kachina. And this was the bluest sapphire. I don't know what it was. You know, I'm calling it the blue kachina because it was literally like 30. I was staying about 30 miles west of the Indian reservations. And I looked up, and it's actually on my album cover. If you look at my vinyl album cover, the World Ascension Tour vinyl soundtrack, you'll see the top left. I put it on there. The blue kachina. It's just amazing. I've never seen anything like it. I came out, I grabbed my camera, and I started, taking shots of this thing at 10 o'clock on the moon. And it was like the sapphire blue, maybe 20% of the size of the moon, and I don't know, how far away it was or where it was, but, just strange things seem to follow me when I use a camera. Let's put it that way.
Well, it sounds like an unforgettable experience. That really stood out in your life, Scott. Let me ask on your tour now. Is that your favorite tour now? The one, the Ascension, World Ascension Tour. Is that your favorite tour? And what is there about it that you liked? And also, what other places, other venues have you performed at? And where have you traveled?
I enjoyed the World Ascension Tour. Again, was a shoot because I knew I couldn't tour anymore. I was, I don't know if you ever saw a $1 Million Listings on Bravo. My band and I, we've performed on that show, and we've done a number of performances around California because it was very hard to tour anywhere else other than where you were because nobody wanted to leave their house. So it kind of, it ruined everyone's future. But I've performed in, my goodness, the Del Coronado in San Diego. I've performed in Orlando, in I think it's Disney World, and I've performed all over the United States.
I see. And what's your favorite? Is there any favorite, or do you like them all about the same?
I like the Del Coronado. It was such a cool place. It was, it was in 1881 or something like that. It was built, and it just had an amazing energy, and I enjoyed it. It was on the beach for about 500 people, and very cool, atmosphere.
That's a beautiful place, Hotel Del Coronado. That's where they filmed the movie Some Like It Hot with Tony Curtis and Marilyn Monroe. It was filmed over there. Right. And that's a beautiful hotel. It's been there for many years, and it's a well-known hotel. People come from all over the world to stay at that hotel. Yeah. Correct.
Beautiful place. Very nice place.
Right next to a place.
I've played there a number of times. And I forget most of the places I played. I mean, I played at so many places. A lot of, I stayed at the place in Colorado, which was also amazing. It was in Colorado Springs, big place.
Can't
remember the name of the place. But I played at a lot of places in my years. I remember as a kid, I was 8 or 9 years old, and my band and I played at a place called, you always remember your first gig. It was called Maimonides. It was for children, autistic children. And we were terrible, the band was bad, but they loved it. They loved the music. Not that I was playing at 432 then, but excuse me. But that's when it bit me, when I realized I wanted to, entertain. But then I forgot about it for many years, and got a job and became a regular citizen, I guess. And then I realized that we are all here for a soul mission, and this is part of mine right here. So
before you got into the music, what jobs did you do? Was this something you've always wanted to do, was be a singer and songwriter?
Well, I always was. My family was musically inclined. My mother was an opera singer. Really? And she actually founded with my stepfather, Long Island Lyric Opera in the 70s or 80s. And, they had these get-togethers at the house where they'd be all around the piano and they'd play. And, so I always had music around me. And in our day, we had instruments. I played the trumpet, I played the tuba, I played, we actually learned how to read music. These days, they've dumbed down the culture so badly that a kid doesn't learn how to take care of an instrument. There's a lot of responsibility when you're given a trumpet and say, this is yours, and you're going to play it. And, if you lose it, you're going to have to pay for it. So we learned more better skills as in our day, if you will, than they have today. It's such a shame. So hopefully whatever I'm doing here may help a little bit.
So you play many instruments and you sing. What did you take lessons, or are you self-taught pretty much on your?
No, well, I took lessons for piano, but it didn't stick. I learned more after the lessons. Guitar, I think I took some lessons. Guitar, I took some lessons, but most of it came again afterwards. You always learn more afterwards when you're out there and you're playing with professionals. It raises your game.
I see. And anyway, you have a band probably behind you. Tell me about the band and how did you meet and some of the people in it?
Hold on. I'm going to take away this. Okay, I guess I'll leave you because I can't see my guitar really. But let me see here. Share a screen. I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it alone. Anyway, yeah, the band's has some great musicians. It's a 5-piece band. And those are my guys out in California, and I'm putting together a band here on the. Actually, this is Chicago now, but in Florida, I'm going to have an East Coast and West Coast band, and just it's top shelf guys. They're I have a lead guitarist, bass player, keyboardist, and drummer, and myself.
What do you play? You play lead guitar, rhythm, or bass?
I play this right here. That's why I'm saying you can't see it.
Oh, I see.
So I was thinking about getting rid of it if I could.
Is that a rhythm guitar or lead?
Yeah, well, it's an acoustic guitar. It's a share screen participants. I don't know how to get. Okay, yeah, it's a Martin acoustic, and it's called the Martin. See right there, it's called the Martin.
Oh, the Martin. Okay.
It's called the Martin. It's the largest guitar they make, and it's got an amazing sound to it. It took me a while to get used to it, and just I don't know if you could hear it.
Well, it's a nice looking guitar. It's like an electric.
It looks good. Hopefully, it'll sound good too.
Hope so. I hope it does. It probably will. Yeah, great. What kind of music? What kind of music? Now you write your own original songs. I guess you do original and cover, and which you prefer, or do you like them about the same?
I don't like listen. When I first started out, I played all covers. That's what you do. That's how you start. But as I wrote music, I found it very hard to play other people's music. Once in a while, I'll hear a song that I really enjoy. There's a song called it's called "Big Love" by Fleetwood Mac, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. A couple of songs like they have some great music. Back then, I really enjoyed that music. But the music I write is different in that it's not. I shouldn't say it's about love, but it's about the love of man. It's service to others. It's not that you met a girl and lost a girl and you found the girl, and it's not that kind of music. The music is to educate, awaken, and to hopefully enjoy the melody and raise their vibration. So it's a story. My first album was The Secret of Time, and then there was Ascended Man. Ascended Man had 10 songs on it, and each song led to the next song, the next part of the story.
That's a clever title, Ascended Man. That means a man is ascending. He's improving, right?
We hope so.
Right.
We try. If If we keep on watching TV, we'll end up completely deaf, dumb, and blind. So just stop watching, commercial TV and start learning. Go within, meditate. You've got to meditate. If you don't meditate, you're going to have big problems. You have to do that while the vibration of the earth is going up. It allows you to, to hone in with source, and to higher knowledge. So we learn as we go.
Is there kind of what kind of music do you really go for? Is it more of the oldies, or is it more current, or what is it? Rock, or is it pop, or is it gospel, or folk, or country, or?
There's no specific genre. I mean, if it's good music, I like it. But I like the music that I'm writing right now. You kind of get tunnel vision. You have to when you're writing your own music. You've got to follow through with whatever you're writing, and the song never ends. It's as far as writing it, you're always tweaking it, you're always fixing it until it's perfect. And that's why it takes so much time to do an album. I've written probably 3-4 albums worth of songs that I've got to get out. In this industry right now, they're starving the good musicians out of the industry. They don't want the people to wake up. They are anyway, but the music always was the push. It's always something that sticks with you. It can change a world. Music, it can bring peace and love. And we need more of that music. We need more of those type of concerts. They've done their damnedest to scare people away from concerts like that, because they create the riots, and everything's a show. Everything's a show. Everyone's got their part. Every politician, every Hollywood, whatever. When they're putting, you're getting emails from this person and that person that vote this way and they vote that way, and it's like, take a vacation, stop watching CNN, stop watching Fox, stop watching everything, and go within and say, what do I want? What resonates with me? And hopefully the music does, and the music will help in some way.
Who has motivated you as a singer-songwriter? What do you think of the Beatles and John Lennon and Paul McCartney and some of these other groups?
It's funny you say that. I think it was about 5 years ago. I'm trying not to speak that much because I got to sing. But 5 years ago, I went to see a psychic. Her name was Rebecca Fielding in California. And she didn't know who I was. And she says, you have 2 guardians. I said, all right, who are the guardians? And she said, Nikola Tesla and John Lennon.
Wow.
So I said, okay, yeah, right. What do they want with me? Well, it turns out, funny as it seems, Nikola Tesla, I got a phone call about 3 months ago from a medium. And the medium said, I'm supposed to give you a reading. And I was told from the other side to give you a reading. And I said, yeah, okay, how much? She goes, no, nothing. And the way she worked was she sets up a round table of people from the other side. Her name is Cheryl Page. And so it would be the spirits that want to come to me to give me a gift or a message or whatever you want to say. So who shows up? Well, first of all, I'm writing a song now. I already wrote the song. It's called Nicola, Don, and John. Remember the song in the 60s? Anybody here see my old friend John? Can you tell me where he's gone? I mean, I'm not singing it right there, but it's an old song. So I said, okay, I got to do something for today. So I said, Nicola, Don, and John Jr. So she contacts me and says, Nikola tells me you're spelling his name wrong. Sure enough, I was spelling his name wrong when I was writing the song. So he actually saw me evidently writing the song, and she corrected me on his first name spelling. But so he was at the round table. John Lennon was at the round table, and John Lennon made me an honorary member of the Beatles. How about that?
Really?
I'm entitled to some of those royalties. And let's see who else came. Valiant Thor, who was very well known in the 50s. He came from Venus, believe it or not, and he spent like 3 years with the government, helping the U.S. government. And he came to me, and Neil Armstrong, Da Vinci. I'm trying to remember who else. The gentleman who passed away. I got to remember his name. He was a preacher. He was a psychic. He prophesized. I got to remember his name. It'll come to me. But anyway, there was about 10 people that were, or 10 people, 10 spirits. My son being one of them. He actually helped put the whole thing together with this, round table of, people, of spirits that had messages for me, of whatever whatever they did, because I had the guy Schumann, he was involved. Anything, because Nikola Tesla was frequency. That's why he's with, he's one of my guardians because of the 432. Everything he did was frequency related.
Mm. Any particular celebrities that you can remember in the business and entertainment that you've met and you performed with, or?
Oh God. Julian Lennon.
Oh, his son.
Yeah, the son. I met him. We hung out a bit. And oh goodness, what's his name? I can't think of the guy's name. Now you're asking me, I can't even remember. I know I've met so many people in bands, Chili Peppers and oh God, I got
Eagles. Ever meet them?
Right?
How about the Eagles?
I never met the Eagles. No,
I
lived right across the street. I was living in Manhattan a couple of years back, right across the street from the where John lived. John Lennon lived. Where he got shot. I can't remember it. That's where
it was terrible.
Yoko
shot him. That was terrible. Yeah. What a tragedy. Yeah. Some of the greatest performers, people are not around anymore, but they were something.
Well, hopefully I can help out a little bit. Hopefully he gave me some ideas.
Hopefully you can, you can continue to do it, inspire yourself and inspire others. That's for sure through your music.
That's correct.
How do you go about writing? When you write music, is it the lyrics or is it the music first, or how does that go about? How do you get your ideas?
Good question. For some reason, I know the name of the album ahead of time. So my next album is called Angel Numbers. And the reason why Angel Numbers, obviously, is because I met Archangel Michael and I was seeing numbers everywhere. I was seeing 8888. I couldn't figure out what the heck it was. And that was the day my son passed.
Oh.
And it was 8/7/2018. Numerologically, that's 8888. And I met Archangel Michael on 8/8/2017. And but I always see angel numbers now. They're always interacting with me. Whether you're looking at your iPhone or you're looking at your computer or whatever it is, you'll see numbers outside, just whatever it is, and it'll show up. My ebook is called, again, A Light Worker's Journey. It'll be out in the next 30 days. And
really?
Excuse me?
It's an it's an ebook. Light Worker's Journey.
Yeah, A Light Worker's Journey. It's about 300 pages.
Really?
And it's got photos as well as accounts of my life and my dreams and things, which are amazing, some of them. But even the music, again, the music's written prophetically, so I don't even know how half the time it got written. But I enjoy listening to my own music. And it's very hard to listen to other people's music sometimes because a lot of the music in the past, let's say 5 years, has had, in my opinion, has had very little soul to it.
You prefer more upbeat type of songs, happy, positive songs, or like slow ballads, or does it matter?
A little bit of both. It's.
I see.
My albums are a little bit of both. So
how many
it depends
albums
upon what I'm going through at the time,
right?
what hits me at the time. I also hear the melody in my head when I'm writing it, so it's interesting.
How many albums would you say you produced, and also singles? Would you say?
One, two. Well, again, my first album is Secret of Time. Then there was Ascended Man. Then there's The Language of Clouds, which is an EP. And then there's World Ascension Tour. This is the next one, which is Angel Numbers. And the one after that is called The Tree of Life.
Sounds like about what, about 7 or 8?
I wasn't counting, but just naming them off. But my website is scotthowardmusic.com. And, you can go there. I think I'm on YouTube as well. That's where I have some really cool music videos there. You can watch Scott Howard channel. The music videos are not your normal everyday,
What's your typical day now as a singer and songwriter? How do you fill up your day? What actually happens?
Oh goodness, my day goes in many different directions. It's from working with finishing up the ebook, because you gotta finish it. It's not as easy as it sounds. Then I will meditate, which if I don't meditate, I am off. Let's put it that way. Then I'm involved in writing doing the album. I'm in the studio. This right now is it's like 11:43, 11 whatever it is here. I'm up till 2 o'clock in the morning easily. Up here in the studio. So whether I'm in Chicago or I'm in Florida, I've got a studio in both places, and I'm, always writing and finishing up the album.
That's quite a bit. When you do your performances now, when you write a song, or even if you're in a performance, what if you end up, my writer's block and you can't think of a lyric to write for the song, or you're in a performance and you've forgotten the words? Does that ever happen? And if it did, how would you handle it?
When I'm writing a song, I haven't had that problem yet, as far as, coming up with a lyric, because by the time you're done, it can take, a month, you'll get it. Sometimes it comes to you right away. I'll work on a song and I'll say, I don't like that melody. And I'll come up with the next melody a day later, and it's better than the first melody. Then I'll come up with another melody. So, and then when you're performing, normally you'll have a prompter in front of you. It's like an iPad, and it's got the words there. So I haven't had the chance to forget my words, because I wrote them. So I haven't gotten Alzheimer's yet.
So that hasn't happened. Okay. If it did, how would you?
Yeah, it can, every once in a while, but you end up. It's called impromptu, improvising. You'll improvise. If you can't think of the words, you'll come up with a different word that sounds just as good.
I see. You come up with something that's similar.
Yeah,
not exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You were at a performance where nothing worked out. You had good intentions. You gave it your all, but for some reason, something always messed it up and screwed it up.
It happens all the time. Every performance is that way.
And how do you deal with that?
That's life.
Can you tell me any experiences that have actually happened?
Oh goodness, it actually happened. I was performing in an amphitheater in Florida, and the sound system, I couldn't get the sound system right. I just couldn't get the sound system right. You just gotta go on. You gotta go on, and it's gonna sound the way it sounds for whatever reason. So it's just entertainment. The show must go on.
Right. So you never had an audience, never had a show in which people were booing, or they're upset because maybe they were bored or something didn't go right.
No,
never did. Unfortunate. I'm sure you'd handle it if that did happen.
Oh yeah, so, but I've never had that. I have never been that bad.
And how about performance anxiety? If you ever have that, and if you do, how do you handle that? And
I have it right now.
You do? Okay, wouldn't even know. You're doing fine, Scott.
Thank you.
Great, Scott.
Where are you located?
Where am I? I'm in California. Right now. I'm in Northridge, California. And you're in
where?
In California, in San Fernando Valley, in Northridge.
Oh, okay.
That's
I was in Truesdale. Lived in Truesdale for a while. The home I had was we renovated Howard Hughes's home. It's one of his homes.
Really?
I think it's where he kept his girlfriends or something. And sure enough, his ghost showed up while I was while we were doing it.
That in Bel Air or Beverly Hills?
It was in Truesdale, which is Beverly Hills.
It is Beverly. Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, when you see go look at the ebook, the pictures in that ebook, and there's videos as well. And I've got orbs. I kept on hearing noises on my rooftop. I couldn't figure out what it was. And I'd have etheric beings show up there, or orbs that would go and move in all different directions. They were obviously, intelligently guided. So I mean, just crazy stuff that I've got that's going to be in the book.
That should be interesting. Should be very interesting.
Oh yeah.
What about rejection now? Have things always gone smoothly? Have you ever had? I mean, there's rejection in life, and especially in entertainment. If that's happening,
rejection is all the time. You just gotta let it go off your, off your shoulder, because, one day it'll be bad and the next day it'll be fantastic. It's just part of life. You learn when you've been in the business that it's not always smooth sailing, but in the end you get to your destination.
You ever had any very interesting audition which stood out, in which you were a little stressed, but it was kind of a unique experience in auditioning?
I remember performing for, I think it was it Billboard magazine, and it was in my home, and they came there and we performed, and actually it went very well. But it's interesting the way the business really works. You become friends with everyone, and it's not as nerve-wracking as you might make it out to be. But it went very well. And actually, I think I was in the centerfold of Billboard when they had the top 100 musicians or bands or something like that. It was about, I think it was 2019, something like that. So it worked out pretty good.
Sounds interesting. It definitely sounds very interesting. Yeah.
You want me to play a song?
Sure. If you'd like to play a song, and we'd love to hear it. There were several songs. That's right.
I don't know how it's going to sound, because you sound very low, but I'll try it, and let's see how she goes. Let's see here.
The first song is from a previous album of yours. You had a previous album, right?
Yeah, Harvest Blessings.
Harvest Blessings is a song, right?
It's a song. And then the other one is
right,
called Last Lifetime.
Last Lifetime, right? Not Time of Your Life, but last Lifetime. That's correct. So let's, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick back and relax and enjoy. Have a blazing hot one time as Scott Howard, this talented artist, singer and songwriter, will sing the song.
You can hear that?
I can hear it. Oh, yeah.
Okay. The storm is over, drenched in tears by Mother Earth. Sunrise coming as the trumpets herald the new earth. Time to weep is over, all emotions spent. It's the harvest of these blessings, of lessons learned, paths chosen, now lost and blurred. On earth in lightning found, love now fruitful, no false wants for a crown. The time has come, the cover is blown, heaven's veil is open to roam. The vacancy time is here, the tickets are free for all. what's coming next on this magical journey. It's our turn, yes. Are you ready for this illumination? The training wheels are off. Ancient darkness has been exposed. Many childhoods lost. Forbidden truth, I take it from our youth. It's the harvest of our blessings, the birthrights for beings of truth. To get most and those who spark the ransom flames, the trumpet's truth, not false flag James. The time has come, the cove is blown, heaven's veil is open to roam. The frequency known to enter is free for all. For what's coming next on this magical journey, it's our turn, yes. Wake now from your sleep, brush the cobwebs from your feet, open your heart and mind. The truth is yours to find. Manifest your best. Don't exist like all the rest. Stop running in circles. Your mind creates nightmares and miracles. Storm is over, dressed in tears, my Mother Earth.
Yeah, bravo. That was beautiful. You have such a great, beautiful sounding voice. It's so relaxing, and it has a great message there, Scott. It's
Thank
almost
you.
like
Thank
harvest
you.
blessings. Whatever you sow, you reap. That is fantastic. It really is. Really enjoyed it. Anyway,
Is this in FM or AM?
that's fantastic. That really is. The next song for our ladies and gentlemen, it's coming up on your neck. It's called Last Lifetime. You have
Yes, I'm
another
changing
album?
guitars. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
This is an interesting guitar. I probably should have not put that.
Look at that. Look at that guitar. It's quite a guitar. Wow.
This is a double neck.
Double neck. I can see that. Yeah, that's really something. Yeah. So this next song is it's from your upcoming album, right?
It's called Angel Numbers. The upcoming album is Angel Numbers.
That's right. Angel Numbers. Your
The
upcoming.
last one before this was, again, the World Ascension Tour. And before that was The Language of Clouds, which has got some really cool songs on it as well. So anyway, this is, let's see how it sounds now. Make sure it's tuned. That's good. Okay, she's all right. that? Can you hear that? Can you hear the music?
I hear it.
Okay. I look up and I see stars out tonight. I look up and I feel things just ain't right. Look up and I hear people cry. Look up and I wonder why. Don't you want to know what is? Do we really exist? Is life but a flame? Star burn out is the same. Oh, look up and I see things have changed for me. Look up and I see ceiling has rearranged. Look up and I hear dolphins cry. I look up and I wonder why. Have we lost our way? Will we be here another day? Are these the end of days? Will we be here to mend our ways? Awaken, 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 awaken. How many times can I say that I'm sorry? How many ways can I say that I worry? Is this the last? If there's a chance, please don't be the last. Oh, lifetime. Why does time stand still? Why can't we be still? Desecration, deforestation, mutilation, assassination, administration, elimination, general education, summer domination, World War III, bring us to our knees, lies, apartheid, genocide, nowhere to hide. The dark side. To our children heed to hear, we are sorry. Is this a world they should fear? We are sorry. Is this the last? Based on the past, this could be the last. Does time stand still? It was a medley.
I love it.
The first song was Awaken from my Ascended Man, and then there was Last Lifetime, which is on the Angel Numbers album.
How did you go about creating these two songs? Last Lifetime and the first ones you did, Harvest.
The first song was Harvest Blessings in 432, and then this one was Last Lifetime. Well, actually, Awaken and Last Lifetime. Awaken again was on my Ascended Man album, and Last Lifetime is going to be on the Angel Numbers album in 432.
And how did you go about creating these two? These are obviously original songs. I like them. Yeah,
they're all originals. Yes, of course.
How did you go about creating them? Any particular?
How did I go about creating them?
Yeah.
It's I think Awaken, I look up and I see the stars out tonight. It was at night. I was walking around and I was angry because I was looking up, what a wondrous world, but I realized nobody else was looking up. Everyone's on their cell phone. Everyone's, then no one's looking up. You got to look up. If you don't look up, life passes you by and you get hit by a car or your upcoming, or your current, people that are, whatever, they're running this country into the garbage pail.
So you're talking about that last one, right?
Awaken is to tell people, wake up. Awaken. Right. I look up and I see the stars out tonight. I look up and I feel things just aren't right. People are crying all over the world.
In other words, don't take it for granted.
Don't care.
Never take it for granted and savor every minute.
And
gotcha.
Life is too short, especially when you lose a child.
That's true.
And so this is what these songs are about.
And the first one, Harvest
Blessings.
Harvest Blessings. It's life is a blessing. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes, Harvest Blessings.
Harvest Blessings. Right.
Right. And this one again is Awaken and Last Lifetime. I kind of went on, longer. The song it's longer than that, but I figured it's now 12:05, so I guess.
Okay, yeah, we're getting closer to the end. We're just about. I wanted to do. There was another song that we have, Ascended Man. We wanted to play that for our audience.
Sending
Once again, bravo, bravo. So beautiful there, Scott. Very melodic, very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Scott, I wanted to ask you, we're getting closer to wrapping up, of course. I know it's getting later there, but if you had to do anything over again in your life and your career, would you do anything differently?
Oh my goodness, that's one of those questions, huh? It's a very spiritual question. Oh my goodness. There's too many of those things. Right now, I got a ring now in this ear. So I have an angel talking to me. Someone's trying to tell me what to say. What would I redo? What would I do over again?
Would you do anything? Is everything? Are you a happy camper, or would you do anything differently if you had to in your life?
I probably would have started my music, my serious music career sooner. But no, I can't complain. You know, I don't have a right to complain. You know, my son, that's something that was very tough.
Well, you're a survivor. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll tell you a quick story, if I may.
Sure.
This proves, and this showed me not to sweat it. When he passed, have you ever heard of gematria?
No, I haven't. What is?
Okay, gematria is kind of like the Jewish. What's that? Oh my goodness, I'm going to forget that. Anyway, gematria. If you go to gematrix.org, you put in your name, your last name, and all that stuff, and things come up. Your life. Because my belief is we literally lived in a Westworld type reality. Where up to 2012, we literally were on script. And after 2012, we all went off script because they thought the world was going to come to an end and so on and so forth. So when my son passed away, I went to gematria and typed his name in. And you really need to know how to add up the numbers to figure out so you get the right reading. And it's had the name of every person in his life at that time. So it has mother's name, my name, his sister's name, his fiance's name, all the names of the people in his life. And then it said dead, dead, dead.
Mm.
Okay. Then when I got his death certificate and I looked at his social security number, and his social security number was my phone number at age 7.
Really?
That's impossible. It's impossible. It just can't be. You may have the last 4 numbers, just like that. This was all the numbers. The letters become numbers. With P becomes 5, 9, 1, whatever. But his social security number was my phone number as a kid. The first thing you learn when you're in our day, because we didn't have cell phones back then. You learn you're 7, you learn your phone number. If you get lost, remember your phone number. That's the first thing you remember, back in the 60s or 70s, whatever it was, probably the 60s. So I knew my phone number. I know it by heart now, and it's you never forget it. And sure enough, that proves to me that there's somebody else out there pushing the buttons. And I know it to be a fact because I saw it during my awakening. They control what you see, what you hear, what you feel. It's all like the Twilight Zone. It's just like the Twilight Zone.
Well,
welcome to my world.
Yes, welcome to your world, Scott. That's an interesting story. Thanks for sharing it. So it sounds like you're really content with what you've done. If you had to do anything over again, it's like you wouldn't do any changes. You would do everything the same. Is that correct?
I guess I probably make the same mistakes,
Okay.
I probably wouldn't have done so many drugs when I was a kid. Something like that. But even so, life was okay.
Live and learn. Okay. Scott, do you have any present projects at all?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any present projects that you're working on?
Present projects. I'm sorry.
Present.
Again, my Angel Numbers album, I'm in the studio working on right now. Okay. That's about 10 songs. And then I've got the ebook, which I'm finishing up right now.
Great.
And that's a 300 some odd pages ebook. That's going to probably change the way people look at the sky and look at their world, because whenever I touch a camera, strange stuff happens. I'll get a picture of parallel realities will show up in my photos. And I actually have a photo of 4 people in the picture, but there's like 12. And it's the same person young, the same person old, and so on and so forth. And it was wild, wild. So whenever I touch a camera, strange images come out. So it'll be on my upcoming ebook.
Your ebook, that should be very, it should be
A light worker's journey. Yeah, it's called A Light Worker's Journey. So we got Angel Numbers. Again, it'll be on all the the platforms. It won't be on Spotify though. But it'll be on Apple and all that stuff. And again, the World Ascension Tour is available in vinyl right now. You can go to my website and take a listen to it and pick it up. It's the sound is fantastic because it is in 432. It's much clearer. If you play 440 next to 432, 432 sounds much more crispy, much more clearer.
I see. Do you have any future dream projects, Scott, that you haven't done that you'd like to do in the future? Maybe you'd like to do.
I'd love to play at a couple of large concerts universally. That's my dream. I'd like to play. I already know, we all know by now, that there's life everywhere. We've been kept in a bubble for so long, probably an actual bubble. But I think that we're being introduced little by little to what's going on outside, to our family that's been watching us all. And I'm hoping, I'd like to be able to perform for the universe instead of playing just this small town called Earth. I'd like to be able to play elsewhere. So that would be my dream, would be to play for Middle Earth, play for Hollow Earth, play at the pyramids in Egypt.
So maybe you want to do a world tour, it sounds like.
The Universal Tour.
Universal Tour. Okay, great. That's something to aspire to. That really is.
Well, the technology is here. Let's put it this way. I mean, people, they go to work every day and they end up in Mars. They don't even realize they're in Mars. There's jump rooms everywhere, and there's Stargates. Everything you think is fake is real. Stargate SG-1, that's real. Star Trek, that's real. They show it to you on TV and they make you think it's fake. Where did they get the ideas from? They're not that smart, but obviously they're smart enough to come up with the technology or borrow it from somebody else.
That's great. That really is something. You've also done music videos too. Tell me about.
I've shot about 6 music videos. If you go to
where you shot
YouTube,
them and what they were about. Tell me about
Howard Music. And you got Awaken. There's a great song I wrote called Life's Not Easy. Come With Me.
Okay.
It's a whole bunch. I did a couple of acoustics there too. I did some work for the Child Bereavement Council in the UK. They asked me to shoot I guess not an infomercial, but this discussion and sing 2 acoustic songs, which I did. I did Illusions of Life, which is a great song. And Through My Eyes. That was a song I wrote for my son, to take a look at life through my eyes. It's very hard to tell a child, when they're not happy. You think it's so hard, look at life through my eyes. So that's kind of another song I wrote that's on Ascended Man.
That's interesting. So what is there about music videos that you really like? I mean, you really get into it sounds like.
Which one you said?
The different music videos. I don't know which one stood out was your favorite, but what is there about it?
I like Illusions of Life is great. I like Awaken. Those are 2 great. They're not your usual music video. It's different. It makes people look at life differently. I just got to remember all the music videos I did. There's another song I wrote called The Secret of Time, which is also a great song.
Oh.
You can hear that. I believe there's a lyric. I don't know if that's a music video as much as it's a lyric video. But it's just the songs are good. It's an Ascended Man. So if you go to my website, scotthowardmusic.com, you can listen to Ascended Man. The samples there, and every song is good. I like them.
That's fantastic. Well, you know what, Scott Howard, you have had and continue to have a blazing and amazing and exciting life as a singer-songwriter. You've had a very interesting life. That's right. And time has gone by fast. I've really enjoyed it. There's one more thing. How can people find out? If people really want to find more about you, Scott Howard, how do they go about doing it? I mean, there's Facebook and there's YouTube channels and there's Spotify and there's IMDb page.
Yeah, no, I'm not up on all that new stuff. I'm on Instagram. I guess it's Scott Howard Music. On Spotify, there's about 18 songs on Spotify that you can listen to, my stuff. And again, on YouTube for the music videos, and my website, scotthowardmusic.com. Again, just go to Scott Howard. And if you look for a guy that's got bald head, it's a bald-headed guy. That's me. For some reason, I don't know why Spotify, they keep on putting my stuff with some other guy. I don't know. So it's a nightmare. I was on iHeartRadio's library, and I'm listening. And it's not my music. It's somebody else's music. So evidently, there's another Scott Howard. If I would have known that,
really,
I would have changed my name.
Well, there's a common name, Howard, but remember Ron Howard? He's been very successful in entertainment as an actor.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, I'm not Ron Howard, but Scott Howard will do.
Scott Howard is fine. Okay. Well, I really enjoyed it. Time has gone by very fast, Scott. I really have. You, like I say, you've been you put your mind, body, heart, and soul into what you do. You really love what you do. There's nothing forced about it. It's all there. Your passion, your feeling, your talents, and you are very interesting and very great. And I've enjoyed having you as a guest on the Amazing Original Johnny Blaze Show, Scott Howard. So I want to thank you very much for being a guest on the show, on the Amazing Original Johnny Blaze Show.
Thank you so much. Be light.
You're welcome. Now, and as we wrap up, Scott, I just want to say to all my fans and friends, always keep a smile on your face and a song in your heart. And until next time, happy trails and blaze out.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be a guest on an entertainment talk show, please send us an email at amazingoriginalJBshow@gmail.com. All of our episodes will appear on YouTube and Facebook and receive over 3,000 views. Don't forget to sign up for our YouTube channel, and every guest will receive a complimentary DVD of their appearance on the show. Remember, we are much better than a podcast. And now, the amazing original Johnny Blaze has just left the building. Good night, and God bless. Thank you.